Hey, what's going on, guys? Should be starting up now. It's good to be talking some NBA once again. Talking Game 4 Showdown slate, Lakers Heat, and it got a lot more interesting. We got the news a couple hours ago that Bam is playing. We just got the news recently that Draczek, he was going to attempt to play. He is out, but Bam playing really throws a wrench into things and makes it a little bit more of a difficult slate, in my opinion, right? Because if Bam Adebayo was out, this is the lineup that I think every single player in high stakes would have played. They would have done this. And this is the lineup that I was going to play if Bam Adebayo was out. All right, Bam being in really does affect this because, of course, Kaleo is not going to play nearly as many minutes as he did. He might not even be in the rotation. That is like the big question mark on this slate. There's a couple of question marks, but is Kaleo even going to play? He's played really well, but I don't think there's a guarantee that he is in the rotation. If you studied Game 1, right, when Bam Adebayo was healthy, Kelly Olynyk was not going to play. But Bam got injured. The game blew out. He came in the second half, basically played the entire second half. The first half of Game 1, Kelly Olynyk was not going to play. Or he did not play. And the plan was to not play him the entire game. But again, blowout, injury. So what is Eric Spoelstra going to do is a big question mark. I think is the key to this slate. But yeah, like I said, it's a really, really interesting slate. I'll talk about ownership. I'll talk about, safety, right? Cash games, if you're going just for the safe floor. GPPs, right? Are you shooting for the upside? Who is going to be low owned? Obviously, Bam's going to be low owned. So, yeah, 219 over under Lakers Heat. Lakers are 7.5 point favorites. Again, I'll try to keep an eye on chat as we go. What's up, Cam? How you doing, man? But yeah, if you guys enjoy the content, hit that like button. It really, really helps me out. Also, hit the subscribe button, closing in on, 5.2 thousand subscribers right now. So, all right, we'll talk about, we'll go top to bottom with pricing here. And then I'll discuss captains, kind of roster construction, builds for cash, builds for GPP, and then we'll get to questions at the end. So, top two prices. Well, if you notice, the pricing came down on basically everyone, right? LeBron's price came down. AD's price, Jimmy Butler. So it is a little bit easier to jam these guys in. LeBron James at 12K. He has been much more consistent than Anthony Davis. Recently, much more consistent than AD in this series so far. So for a cash game setting, I think you play LeBron James. Now, him and Jimmy Butler are going to be the highest owned plays on the slate, in my opinion, just off the big game from Jimmy last slate. So, do you have to play LeBron James in GPPs? The answer is no. I think you can get away from it at his price. It's a risky fade for sure, and nothing you can really, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm super confident about fading LeBron James, but I don't think he's a must in GPPs. Now, if Bam Adebayo was out, I would have said LeBron and AD were musts, just because, like I said, the roster construction and that build I show you at the beginning with Kelly on the captain, LeBron, AD, Jimmy, Hero, none, that was the optimal lineup if Bam Adebayo was out. But Bam being in makes it so that I don't think you necessarily have to play both the Lakers studs, because Jimmy, we know the upside is there. Bam, his upside, and they're a lot cheaper. So, LeBron, play him in cash, move on, simple. I think you can fade in GPPs, but it's super, super risky. Anthony Davis, I like, just because I like buying into guys after a bad game. He was in foul trouble, just didn't look like himself. Doesn't worry me one bit. It doesn't. You're getting him at a slight discount off LeBron. LeBron is going to be more popular. If people are going to fade a Laker, I think of the top guys, they're going to fade Anthony Davis. Again, for cash games, for safety, I think you do play both, because Lakers, their offense, they run through two guys. It's LeBron, it's Anthony Davis. So, I think for cash games, double ups, stuff like that, head-to-heads, you play both Laker studs. I think you play at least one for GPPs, obviously. I wouldn't fade both. And then I don't think you necessarily have to play both, but it's definitely the safe approach. Jimmy Butler at 9.6, you're getting a nice discount off of him, right? $12K for LeBron, $11.4 for AD. A really nice discount here for Jimmy Butler, who went absolutely insane. 83 fantasy points. We're not going to get that again. We're not even get close to that, in my opinion, but the price tag looks really, really good. 45 minutes in back-to-back games is good to see, too. They're basically going to play him the entire game. Sure, Bam coming back does take a slight hit to his usage, but the price tag just looks really, really good on Jimmy. With no Draczek, he has just really stepped up his game offensively with 56 and 83 fantasy points. So Jimmy, for his price, looks really, really good. Sure, Bam being back does hurt him a little bit, but the price tag looks really good in Jimmy. So for cash games, I think what you do is you find a way to get the top three guys in there. You play LeBron, you play Anthony Davis, you play Jimmy Butler. That's what you do for cash games. Now, the really interesting play here is Bam Adebayo at 9.4K. He is going to be low owned. How low owned do I think he'll be? I honestly think it could be below 20%. 9.4K is really, really appealing. And I like him as a tournament play. People are not going to get to him. People are just going to, they're going to look at his slate. They're going to plug in LeBron, AD, and Jimmy Butler. And it's nearly impossible to play all four. You can, but you would have to play like Markieff Morris in the captain and then Iguodala. I can just show you that build if you guys, I'm not going to do it. But you can make this work if you wanted to. This would be the build if that's what or Kellyo, Iguodala or Kellyo. So it's possible to play all four guys, but you're gonna have to play some riskier guys in the captain. I think it is a viable build. I'm not gonna do it, but it is at least interesting that you can jam the top four guys in your lineup if you want to. But yeah, back to Bam. Right, let me go back to utility. Obviously he's going to be the lowest owned of the four guys. He kind of struggled that game one, but I just like the ownership for GPPs. So yeah, that's what I got for Bam. I don't think he's going to be limited. It's a neck. I don't think they're going to limit him. I think he does get probably over 40 minutes. And again, we'll get to Kellyo, but the question is, does Kellyo play alongside Bam Adebayo? We really haven't seen that at all in the playoffs. Will they go to that? I don't know. Right? Kellyo can stretch the floor, but I don't know what Eric Spoelstra is going to do. That's the question mark on the slate: is what is his minutes going to be? So then we get to Draczek, who is out. There's a possibility he was going to try to play, but he's out. Hero at 8K is going to be super, super low owned. Has been struggling shooting the ball. 6 of 18, 5 of 12, 6 of 18. 8K is not getting him an amazing discount. Again, he's going to be low owned. I think he's a fine contrarian play. If he does shoot the ball well, we've seen upside games from Hero, right? We saw him put over 50 against Boston. So if he's hitting his threes, he can go for over 40. But right now, a more contrarian play for me. Rondo at 7-2. I like him in the mid-range. 25, 26, and 28 minutes. So he's going to play about mid-20s minutes. He's a guy that doesn't have to score to get you there, right? He'll get you the floor of the assist. And when he is shooting the ball well, he can go for over 30 easily. So I think Rondo makes for a decent play here in the mid-range at that price. Jay Crowder, 6'8", is just meh. Yeah, he's fine. He'll play somewhere probably around 30 minutes. Maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, right? But I would say around 30 is a fair estimate for Jay Crowder. He's a do-it-all guy. He can hit some threes. I don't really know if the upside is massive on him, but yeah, 6.8K makes him at least okay in the mid-range, but I'm not like overly excited about playing Jay Crowder in this one. Duncan Robinson is another question mark. So Kellyo a question mark, Duncan Robinson a question mark. He played 39 minutes. Partly due to him, playing better, but partly due to also Kendrick Nunn foul trouble. Kendrick Nunn picked up 5 fouls in the fourth. They brought in Duncan Robinson, didn't bring Kendrick Nunn back in. So what are the minutes going to be like for Duncan is the big question mark. I think a safe estimate is mid-20s, but it could be a little bit less than that if he's playing bad. If he's shooting the ball well, I think it could be a little bit more. Also, if some foul trouble, like we saw last game, maybe 30+. So this is a tricky one. His floor is low. He's score independent, and 5K is a fair price. So, are you willing to take the risk on Duncan Robinson? His range of outcomes is super high, right? It's super big, I should say. Floor of probably below 10. upside of probably around 30-ish, like we saw that last game. So, yeah, Duncan is a tricky one. KCP and Danny Green, 3-and-D guys. Right now, Danny Green's really been struggling. KCP's been getting more minutes, 30, 32, and 29, so I do feel more comfortable at KCP. The floor is somewhat low, though. We saw it the last game. He's not shooting well. The floor is low. Danny Green, the minutes went way down on him. 17. Markieff Morris picked up more of those minutes. Danny Green is going to be super, super low-owned. 1 of 8, 0 of 6 last couple games. I guess I don't hate it as like a cheap play because I don't think, I think he'll be super, super low-owned. And he could get hot behind the 3-point line. You never know. Things could change. So, yeah, Green is playable. Obviously more risky because of recent play. Kuzma had a good game last game at 4-6. Fine. Again, not overly excited about it. He does have to shoot well, does have a kind of low floor if he's not shooting well. Kendrick Nunn at 4-2, I do like. Again, he had foul trouble, only played 20 minutes. I think the plan is to play him mid-20s minutes. He's a good defender, too, and the price came down. So Kendrick Nunn and Alex Caruso right now are my two favorite value plays. We'll talk about Kaleo, we'll talk about Markieff Morris, also in play for value, but for me, it's Nunn and it's Caruso right now, the guys that I feel the best about. Again, I do think the plan is to play him over 20 minutes with no Draczek. I like Kendrick Nunn as value. I think the ownership will drop after the last game. Not super, super worried about that. Yeah, Dwight Howard 3-8. He'll play 15 minutes. Fine play. He'll get probably somewhere around 10 to upside of maybe 20 fancy points. Playable at 3-8, but we're not going to get any more than 15 minutes unless something crazy happens. We get like 80 foul trouble or something like that. But yeah, the plan is Dwight Howard 15 minutes. Alex Caruso, mentioned him, right? It's just the minutes, right? Mid-20s minutes, 22, 20, 13, 14. I think he's just a safe play in this range. So if you're going for the safe value, it is probably Caruso because the minutes and a guy that, again, kind of like Rondo doesn't necessarily have to score, can do it all, is a good defender. They like having him out there. So Caruso is a solid value play. Iguodala, I'm probably off, especially with Bam coming back now too. He's going to be low owned, but I don't think I would do it. And then Kelly Olynyk. So this is a big question mark. He played really, really well with Bam out. 37 and 31 minutes, 38 and 32 fantasy points. Well, we haven't really seen Bam and Kelly Olynyk out there at all together in the playoffs. So does Spoelstra do that? I think it's a possibility because Kelly Olynyk played really well. But I also think it's a possibility that he gets a DNP, doesn't play. So I have no idea. Again, this is if you're going to guess on it, this is the piece you're going to have to get right, whether it be the fade or actually playing him. I think his range for minutes is probably, if nothing crazy happens, if we don't get a Bam injury, if we don't get foul trouble, I think the plan is to just play him the backup Bam minutes. So whatever Bam doesn't play, Kelly Olynyk plays, is my best guess. But I still think there's a chance he gets a DNP. I think there's a chance that maybe they do play him alongside Bam a bit and he gets more minutes. But right now, I would say 10 to 12 minutes from Kelly Olynyk. Again, it could be 0. It could be 10 to 12. I think upside 20-ish if they play him a little bit alongside Bam. So, yeah, big question mark here is what are his minutes? He's a good fantasy point per minute guy, but I don't know what to do with Kelly Olynyk on the slate. Markieff Morris at 2-8 is going to be popular. Had the big game last game. If it does load up, it's taking a second here. So, played 25 minutes. Danny Green struggled. They played Markieff Morris more. Yeah, the price point makes him very, very much in play. Now, I think he's going to be really popular. I don't necessarily think he's a must-play for value, but definitely someone you can look to. I think he probably gets somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes. So yeah, I have no issue with Markieff Morris. He's cheap. I think he's definitely in play. Myers Leonard is a cross-off. I don't think he plays with Bam Adebayo not playing. So that's really it for the player-by-player breakdown here. Again, let's talk about cash games. Cash games, you do this. I think you play those 3 guys. And I think you probably play, I'd say Nunn and Caruso. Those are the safe value. So that's probably what I would do. You can mess around with who you want to go in captain spot, but those 5 guys is probably what I would do for cash setting. Now GPPs, right? We know the top 3 guys are going to be really, really popular. I think it's worth the risk to take a shot in Bam. The ownership is going to be really, really low. The price point's nice. He was playing really, really well before I got injured. So I do like some Bam in GPPs. Hero going to be a contrarian play. Not super excited about Jay Crowder. Rondo, I always like. 7K is fair. Duncan Robinson, another one that range of outcomes is huge. We know we're getting out of KCP, Green, Kuzma most of the time, right? They're kind of score independent. Danny Green, KCP more out there for the defense, but they're definitely in play. Kendrick Nunn's a guy I like a good amount of for too. I think he does get mid-20s minutes. Caruso, I think, is a safe value play. Dwight Howard, again, you know we're getting to about 15 or so minutes from him. Iguodala, not super excited about that, especially with Bam coming back. Olynyk is the big question mark. What are his minutes going to be? Again, I think it really can be 0. I think most likely it's going to be the backup Bam minutes, so 10-ish, 10 to 12. Or still a slight possibility that they do playing alongside Bam a bit, and then maybe upside of like 20-ish minutes. And then finally, Markieff Morris, he's going to be really popular for his price. I think he's a solid value play. Right now, the value is probably him, Caruso, Kendrick Nunn. So that's it for the breakdown from me. We got about 10 minutes until lock, a little over 10. So let's get to some questions. All right. How many minutes is Bam getting today? Well, if he doesn't aggravate his neck and he doesn't get in foul trouble, I think 40 minutes. Around that. 38 to 40 minutes. So, sure, right? He could aggravate his injury, could get some foul trouble, but if nothing crazy happens, I think close to 40. Lineup, smash the like button, y'all. Help him out, at least we can do. Thanks, Cam. Drake. I'm going to let people chase Morris and Butler today. So Morris is a solid value play, right? Below 3K, I think him, Caruso, Nunn, and Olynyk are the guys I would consider. Again, Olynyk, risky because we don't know what his minutes are going to be like. Other three look pretty solid. Let's see. Captain Crowder, Flex, James, Howard, Bam, Butler, KCP. Yeah. Again, I'm not really excited about Jay Crowder, to be honest. Who is the best captain? Well, kind of depends on your roster construction, right? You can go cheap, or you can go with one of the studs. I think, if you go a guy like LeBron James in the captain, and you want to play AD and Jimmy Butler, well, you have 3.6K remaining. So, yes, there's value, right? There's Morris, there's Olynyk, there's Caruso, there's Nunn. Those are the guys that I'd probably look to, so you can make a lineup like that. Or, I think it's possible you can do something like take a shot on someone cheap in the captain spot. So, maybe you go Markieff Morris. Maybe you go Olynyk, right? And again, I mentioned that build is possible, right? This build is possible if you want to do that. Or maybe you could do Kelly Olynyk in the captain spot here. Would that work? Yeah, it still would work. So either way, if you want to play LeBron, AD, Jimmy, and Bam, it's viable, but you're going to have to play Kelly Olynyk and Markieff Morris together. Like I said, yeah, you can do that. You can play a guy like, maybe you take a shot at Nunn, who I like as a bounce back candidate, and then you can jam in probably 3 of these 4 guys at the top. So, yeah, it makes you for a really, really interesting slate here. With Bam in, Howard is going to eat most of the small ball minutes Morris would get. With Bam in, Howard is going. I don't think Howard plays more minutes, though. That's the thing. Braun, captain, Davis, Hero, Green, Howard, Nunn. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see. Butler, captain, Caruso, AD, Danny Green, LeBron, and Nunn. Thoughts? Yeah, so Danny Green is a riskier value play because the minutes have been trending down. He's been shooting terribly. If he does shoot well, I think he does probably get 25-ish minutes. So Danny Green is the big risk there. Everything else is fine. AD or Braun, for me, if I had to pick between Anthony Davis and LeBron, it's LeBron for safety, but I'm going Anthony Davis for GPPs. Bam was guarding James in Game 1. Let's see. Deion Waiters in play. Nope, he won't play. You think Howard might get a longer run with Bam back? Nope. Only saw the 15-ish minutes what was in Game 1. I knew Julio was going to bomb. His hammy hasn't been a problem for didn't say the goose egg. Yeah, Monday Night Football, that was weird. That was a weird 2-game slate, right? We saw all the touchdowns to Tanyan for Green Bay. We saw Julio injured, Ridley a goose egg. Kansas City offense was terrible. It was a weird slate. GPP, Davis, captain, Butler, Caruso, Hero, Nunn, and Rondo. Right, so that's risky, fading LeBron. Full disclosure, that's what I'm doing. I am fading LeBron James. It's super, super risky, but I'm playing Bam, I'm playing Jimmy, and I'm playing Anthony Davis. So this is not a slate I feel super comfortable with just because there is a lot of question marks, right? Olynyk mostly. What are his minutes going to be? Also, Duncan Robinson fluctuates, so I'm not risking a lot. I'm only playing the $25 tournament, and that's it. If I think there is an edge in the showdowns, I will play more. Like we saw, what was it, in Game 2 when Bam and Draczek were out, and Kelly Olynyk was like 30% owned in low dollar and 50% owned in high dollar. On a slate where I think there's a huge edge, I will play more. But this one, it's just too much question marks. I'm not comfortable with it. Kuzma or Morris, I'll take the discount on Morris. GPP, Davis, captain, Butler, Caruso. Yep, that's good. Howard or Kuzma? Give me Kuzma. Could you use Hero's captain? Feel like he's due? Yes, I'm fine with Tyler Hero in the captain spot. Right, he has shot the ball terribly, and I shouldn't say no one, but very little people I think are going to play him. Him and Bam and Adebayo are going to be low owned because Jimmy, AD, and LeBron are going to be the chalk spend ups. They just are. So tough to get to Bam or Hero if you're playing those three guys. I'm fine with Tyler Hero. I think he'll play mid-30s minutes. He has not shot the ball well. If he does, he has upside to go for 40 plus. So I don't hate that. Right? It's definitely a riskier play. Caruso or Olynyk. Safety, it's Caruso for sure. I got Olynyk. I don't know what his minutes are going to be like. Robinson or Kuzma. It's going to be Robinson for me. Let's go definitely the same. Let's see. What you fading LeBron? Whoa. I'm taking a risk, right? If I was playing a ton of money, like if I was playing a couple $100 or so, I would not fade LeBron. But I'm only playing the $25. I'm willing to get a little bit risky. Yeah. Don't fade LBJ. He wants the finals MVP. Fine, right? LBJ is going to be 90% owned, maybe more. So, let's see. Hero and Crowder or Bam and Duncan. Hero and Crowder or Bam and Duncan. Bam and Duncan for me. Howard got his minutes limited because he's a horrible matchup against Olynyk. With Bam back, I think he gets about 20 minutes. It's possible. I don't see it happening, but yeah. Sorry, DK, wasn't trying to ruining your live stream. Give me my opinion. Let's see. This is all scripted, right? So easy for let's see. Olynyk or Morris. For safety, it's Morris because I don't know Kelly Olynyk's minutes. You know what you're getting to if you're playing Kelly Olynyk. There's a chance he gets a DNP, but there's also a chance he maybe plays alongside Bam a bit. So let's see. How does this look, DK? Captain, LBJ, utility, Bam, Hero, Howard, Nunn, and Duncan Robinson. It's risky, right? Because you're only playing two of the top four guys. You're fading Jimmy and you're fading Anthony Davis. Personally, I think I would probably try to get three of the top four guys. I don't think that's necessarily a lock, but that's what I would do, of try to get three of the four of LeBron, AD, Jimmy, and Bam and Adebayo. Caruso or Olynyk, again, safety, it's Caruso right now. Captain LBJ, KCP, Hero, Caruso, Davis, and Nunn. Again, same thing, right? You're fading both Jimmy and Bam. That's risky. I personally would probably try to get three of the top four guys in there. I think people are putting Jimmy at lower spots of FanDuel because of Bam back. If anything, Jimmy is still... Yeah, I really like Jimmy. I'm playing Jimmy Butler. The price discount on him from AD and LeBron is really good. Bam being back is a slight hit to his usage, but I like the price on him a lot. Captain, Hero, LeBron, Rondo, Robinson, Nunn, and Bam. Again, I'm good with it. It is risky because you're fading two of the top four guys. Captain, LeBron, AD, Butler, Duncan, Kelly, Markieff Morris, opinion. I'm good with that. Again, some risk in there, right? Duncan, range of outcomes is really high. Kelly Olynyk, we have no idea what his minutes going to be like. Can't win without risk. I completely agree. I do. So what's the risk that I'm doing? Well, I'm fading a 90+% on LeBron James. Do I feel good about it? Of course not. But I'm only playing $25. I'm not, again, this slate is super high variance because there's a lot of question marks. So not getting crazy here. Morris only got more minutes last game because of foul trouble with AD. Danny Green wasn't playing well either. I think he did get a few more minutes because of that. Do you like Captain Jimmy utility? Captain Jimmy utility: LeBron, Bam, Duncan, Green, and none. Right? Yeah. So again, there's some risk with Duncan. Danny Green's been playing really bad, but I don't really have an issue. Kuzma or Danny Green? That's a tough one. Kuzma is going to be more popular than Green as the last game. Green's really been struggling. I do kind of like buying low on guys. It's not really a buy low on Danny Green. He's just been terrible, like absolutely terrible last couple games. But he can still go for like 30 if he's shooting well. Again, the minutes have been down on him, 22 and 17. We saw game 1. He shot well, 28 fantasy points. So I guess I just take the shot on Green just for the ownership. Again, it's a riskier play for sure. Bam or Butler captain. Safe for cash, it's Butler. For GPPs, give me Bam. The ownership's going to be low on him. If you like your line at most, let's see. If you like you already lost yet. Draczek at, let's see. Captain Jimmy, utility LeBron, Bam. Yep, let's go. Iguodala or Olynyk. I would rather just take the shot on Olynyk and hope he gets the minutes. Hope he gets at least 10 to 15. Captain Morris to fit in all the big guys in. Yeah, right? I went over that build. You can captain either Markieff or Olynyk and then play the top 4 guys. Butler or Hero? Butler for sure for me. Are you fading Bam? I'm not. I'm actually playing Bam and Adebayo in the captain spot. Just to get different, right? I'm only playing the $25 tournament, so I got to take a risk, right? I'm not going to play the chalk and split it with however many people. I'm taking a risk here. I'm playing Bam in the captain. Thoughts on Morris? I like him for value. I think 15 to 20 minutes. Below 3Ks is too cheap. Good luck, all peace. Good luck, guys. Yep. Kellyo, Bron, AD, Bam, and Morris. Do you like none? I do. I think he bounces back here. He got in foul trouble last game. I think we get probably mid-20s minutes, and crazy things could happen, but I do like Hendrick at his price. I don't understand why the Lakers don't play Deion Waiters. I kind of don't understand it either. I think he should get minutes. I think he should, but they're just not giving minutes. Can you play Bam and Olynyk? Definitely negative correlation. Again, I think there is an outside chance that they play some alongside together, but yes, the answer to the question is yes, but you're not going to feel good about it. Is Draczek a captain? Too risky? Nah. Yeah, don't play Draczek. I don't know if that's trolling or not, but he's out. I'm doing a Butler captain with AD, LeBron. Butler captain, AD, LeBron, Duncan, Danny Green, and Morse. Fine with it. None or Olynyk. For me, it's none. I feel more comfortable. Anthony Davis and Caruso, or Bam and Duncan. AD and Caruso for safety. None, Bam, LeBron, AD, Hero, Morris. I'm good with that. Let's see. Captain Bam, James, Davis, Kuzma, Nunn, and Caruso. Yeah, again, Bam is going to be low owned, so hope Kellyo won't play. I do think there's a chance he doesn't play. I think the most likely outcome is he just gets the backup center minutes because he's played really well last couple games. But I also think there's a slight chance that he does play some alongside Bam, which we haven't seen at all. So, yeah, he is the big question mark for me on the slate. I don't know what they're going to do with his minutes. Closing in a lock now, guys. Any last-minute questions, throw them in chat. Because Waiter sucks and height disadvantage and he smokes Waiter. Kelly plays. Yeah, again, my best guess is I do think he gets the backup center minutes. All right, we are at lock. So, let's see. If you think Kelly doesn't play, don't bet. Let's see. Jimmy getting another triple-double. I like Jimmy a lot. Thanks, man. Good luck, everyone. Of course, ownership. Yep, let's go over some ownership here. Once it loads in. Not loading yet. Again, I only play the big $25 tournament, so I'm just going to go over ownership there. They'll obviously... Watch me fade Kaleo and Bam re-aggravates his neck and Kaleo puts up 40. If Bam re-aggravates his neck, Kelly Olynyk's is going to go nuts. What's your lineup, DK? All right, so let's go over it. All right, let's get to some contests here. So this is what I went with. Again, I went or played a little bit risky, fading LeBron, but I went Bam Adebayo on the captain with Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler. I played Rondo, 18% owned, none. I took the shot in Kaleo. I was debating with him and Markieff Morris. Again, someone asked me if you could play them together. I'm kind of hoping he gets extended a bit, but I think there's also a chance he just doesn't play. So, Kelly Olynyk coming at 47% owned. That's a little high. Again, I still think there's a slight chance he doesn't play. But let's go over some ownership now for other guys. LeBron James, 92% owned. Your CSGO lineup is doing nice. Dude, I almost took it down. I finished 12th out of 2.8 thousand people in the CSGO. $10.75, so I'm not complaining. I just noticed that, too. Bam, sub 20% in the $4. Olynyk, 54%. Yeah, Olynyk it's higher than I thought. Kuzma, 14%. Duncan Robinson, 34%. Caruso, 22%. Iguodala, 13%. Hero coming at 27%. So none of this really surprised me, right? I knew Bam would be low owned. I knew LeBron, AD, and Jimmy were the chalk. Kelly Olynyk being that high owned does surprise me a bit because I really think the most likely outcome is he only gets the backup center run. But I guess we never know, right? We don't know what Spoelstra's going to do. But that's really it for me. So Bam only 13% yet. CSGO. CSGO is Counter-Strike. It's esports. DK, thanks for the tips for Sunday, man. Almost 4x my money due to the explosive mixing game. Hell yeah, man. That's great to hear. Congrats on that. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to watch this game. Good luck to you all you guys tonight. Hope you guys all win some good money. And I will see you guys all later.